morning. I am Dawn Stanhope, and I am the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Manatee County. Just a quick reminder, if you have cell phones with you, please turn them on silent or vibrate so that it won't be too distracting for us today. I want to thank you so much for being here as we celebrate this year's 2015 Youth of the Year. A big thank you to our co-sponsors of this morning's event, Pier 22 and Total Document Management. I'd also like to thank the club kids that are here, as well as our table hosts, many of whom are board members. If you're a club kid or a board member or table host, could you kindly stand for just a quick moment so we can thank you for your support? The kids that have joined us today were rewarded by being here for their good behavior at the clubs. They are role models and set a great example for other club kids, so we thank you for that. I would also like to recognize our elected officials that are in the room. If you could give a little wave if you're from our electoral group, we would really appreciate that. Your support is so valued in our community. I'd also like to take a quick moment to recognize the alumni that are in the room. If you have attended a boys or girls club in the past, would you kindly just stand for one quick moment so that we can see that show of support from club kids? That's great. Thank you for joining us today and reflecting on how the clubs may have influenced your lives. As many of you can attest, Boys and Girls Clubs changes, and in some cases, even saves lives. Our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. We achieve this by offering a safe, affordable, and fun environment where more than 4,000 kids a year focus on academic success, good character and leadership, and healthy lifestyles. With 2 traditional clubs, one located in Palmetto and one on 34th Street in Bradenton, as well as 5 school-based clubs, our trained staff and volunteers create an atmosphere that's like no other program in Manatee County. We serve children all the way from kindergarten up through high school seniors, regardless of their family's socioeconomic status. And thanks to the generosity of our donors, no child is ever turned away based on financial need. Today's youth are facing pressures that might seem incomprehensible to those of us when we think back to our childhood. Our response to this ever-changing environment must be relevant and timely. We offer a variety of programs to engage young people after school and over the summer, from sports to the arts, to healthy cooking, money management, assistance with career development, and much, much more. We also conduct outreach to those that are heading down a dangerous path, and maybe some of the most vulnerable kids in our population. We encourage kids to stay away from gang activity, to finish school, and to make good choices for their lives. Our strategy works in partnership with parents, schools, community resources, and the business sector. Together, we ensure that kids have somewhere to go where they are valued, important, cared for, and encouraged to be great. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. We hope you will feel uplifted and inspired by the stories that you were here. Sorry. Didn't have my coffee yet. And we're really here to celebrate in their success, both currently and what the future may bring for them. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you this morning's keynote speaker, Mr. Simon Hemus. Simon is the president and chief operating officer for Tupperware Brands Corporation, which is a valued Boys and Girls Club of America corporate partner. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I didn't realize there'd be a photograph of me up there. I'm giving my bio. Actually, I'm from England, but I've lived here in Florida now since 2006. I brought my wife with me, Junko, who's lived in Florida for 20 years. Came here, she was a former professional golfer. So you know where that ends. I can't beat it on the golf course. It is a real pleasure for me to be here, and I thank all of you for coming here as well, because this is important, and some of the things that we do in life do make a difference, and I realize that many of you in this room make a difference as well, and it's very important. Just let me tell you a little bit about Tupperware. Some people don't think Tupperware exists, but we exist and we're thriving. We have operations all around the world. Actually, we now have almost a 3 million independent sales organization, made up mostly of women, and our mission is to empower women around the world. So we are a corporation, we're publicly traded, but we have a social responsibility. Part of what we do is social and is building relationships, empowering women, and that's very important to us. And it's very important that the executive team participates in the local community. We're actually headquartered in Orlando, in a place called Orange Blossom Trail. We moved there actually in 1956, and I was actually only, Tupperware's 67 years old, 1 year older than I am. I joined Tupperware in 2006 from London, and Tupperware moved to Orlando back in, I think it was 1956. And purchased, I forget how many acres of land, but a lot of land for about $5 million, and it's still our home. We have a wonderful campus, and anyone is very welcome to come and see us. I've tried to turn it into Tupperland as opposed to Disneyland, because we get a lot of Salesforce members come through, and so it's important that they feel that the place is special. It's a very eco-friendly place. We're very family and community orientated, and we tend to take our values wherever we go. We have operations in China, which is doing very well, India, Indonesia, some of those places that are quite magical, and all over Europe, even in Russia. So we are quite far flung, but nevertheless, home is here in Florida, and we like our home in Florida, and we like the communities around Florida, and we're very supportive of that. So that's really enough about Tupperware. I will put a few slides up in just a moment, but I want to tell you why we think this is important for us to get behind the Boys and Girls Clubs, and we've been a major supporter of the Boys and Girls Club for many years. Our chairman has been twice chairman of the National Board of the Boys and Girls Club, and continues to be very active. I spoke to him this morning. No, actually it was last night, and I left my cell phone in the car, so I wouldn't talk to him again, because he's just about to leap on a plane from Frankfurt to come back to Orlando. We have a board meeting, our board of directors meeting, quarterly board meeting tomorrow. So, but he did want me to make a couple of points on his behalf, and so I took some notes, and we were talking about this. First of all, some sobering facts, and we think that they're important. The recent incident in Baltimore really gets to the core of why the Boys and Girls Club. And none of us like to see that, but we have to understand what the underlying reasons are behind what's happened in Baltimore. And by the way, the United States of America is not alone in this in the world, I hasten to add. We're challenged around the world. The Boys and Girls Clubs serve around 4 million youths, which is a lot when you think about it. That's a lot of youths to serve 4 million. There's about 4,000 Boys and Girls Clubs across the United States of America. And I always remember Rick telling me that each year they have to raise $4 billion in funding to make sure that the Boys and Girls Club continue to thrive. And they're a very important part of the social fabric of the United States of America. You know, when I was a young man, we used to have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, but we also used to have youth clubs. And so the Boys and Girls Clubs have taken that step much further than what we used to have when I was growing up young. And the issue is there are a further 15 million youths in this country at risk. And that's something that, you know, we should really think about. 15 million is also a lot. And how do we really impact the additional 15 million? And I don't know if you remember the mother that chased her young son in Baltimore. And that was quite a salient moment to look at and see that. And, you know, the problem is that about 10 million youths do not have a mother that's able to do that because they might be working or they're occupied doing something else. That's another large number. So parental, you know, parents being at home for their children is an issue. And, you know, the thing about the club, and the previous, at the introduction, just kind of mentioned it, the clubs provide safe space, and the gangs can't get in. They can't get into the clubs. And most importantly, clubs provide role models for youths, and we all need role models. Those who have been fortunate have been mentored in their lives, and I've had a number of mentors in my life, and it's made a lot of difference. And so the people that serve and they're wonderful people that serve the Boys and Girls Clubs are mentors. They're role models, and that's really important because we all need that. And what the clubs do is they really develop attitude and character for the youths that go there, so that those youths, when they go there, they can have hope and look to have a role in the world and really be a productive member of society. And by the way, I've seen this many, many times working with the Boys and Girls Club. And, you know, the Boys and Girls Club is really a major initiative for Tupperware brands. And that's important. Now, I've got to turn this clicker on. And did I do that? Yes. And just let me, I should probably put that on first, but anyway. We've been a partner with the Boys and Girls Club now for several decades. And our relationships align because our values are aligned. And that's really important. We invest in human capital. And we like to be role models, and we encourage other corporations to invest in the Boys and Girls Club. That went off. There we go. Maybe I've got to keep clicking it. And so that's important. And it's people, really, it's people, not things, that make a better place to live. And there's no higher calling investing in people and in people development. And, you know, the future of America is with the next generation and the next generation that comes after that. And it's the same with the rest of the world. So we have to invest in our youths. It's very important. And how we do that is also equally important. And the Boys and Girls Club deliver a daily promise to nurture, guide, and prepare young people for leadership roles. And also just plain living a decent and respectful life. And you know the statistics better than I do, so I'm not really going to go into those, but they are quite significant in terms of the impact that the Boys and Girls Clubs have across America. And so we recognize the value and of all of the people that are associated with the Boys and Girls Club. It's tremendously important. And you know, like you, Tupperware Brands is really dedicated to enlightening and educating and empowering. And in our case, as I said, it's women. But actually, gentlemen, we do have a lot of men involved in our business as well, and very successfully so as well. And so, and we like to help them achieve well-being with their families and into the communities, as I previously said. And we know that great mentors nurture great people, and we have great mentors in our life. It's the responsibility of all of our leaders in our company to be mentors. That's one of our, it's very important. It's part of our value system. And so we've been involved in developing boys and girls clubs for a number of decades. And let me show you some examples of what we've got. Let's see if I've got this right. Yes. So we have been a corporate sponsor of the Boys and Girls Club for over 20 years. Rick Goins, the Tupperware chairman and CEO, and he's a great friend of mine, has been a national trustee for even longer time than that. And he's served as 2 separate terms as chair. And I'd also like to recognize Larry Clark, because Larry has also been involved in the Boys and Girls Club and his family for many years as well. And we thank you for that, Larry. And on a local and regional level, Tupperware Brands has representation on the board of Central Boys and Girls Club of Florida. We're on the advisory board of the Tupperware Brands Club in Osceola County, which is something that we sponsored. And for many years, we've sponsored many events, galas, and then decided to look for better ways. You know, we did lots of things, but then we decided that we would focus on the Boys and Girls Club, because we felt that that was something that we could get behind and make a difference. And so it's our major sponsor initiative from the corporation's point of view. And, you know, we were talking about Youth of the Year, and by the way, Giovanni, isn't it? Congratulations. You're a wonderful example. I was talking to Giovanni just now, and I said, Giovanni, what do you want to do? He's going to go to college, and I said, what are you interested in astronomy? And I thought, wow, because I like astronomy. And so I started to give Giovanni some statistics, right? Quite amazing. But I can tell, you know, anyone that's interested in astronomy has got a bright future, and congratulations for what you've been achieving. And, you know, we've been a national sponsor of the Youth of the Year. We've put a lot of money behind that program, and we replaced Reader's Digest, who previously had sponsored Youth of the Year. And it's been 5 years we've helped to elevate its visibility as a premier program. And I think Youth of the Year is really something that all of the members of the Boys and Girls Club rally behind. And there's I've met some incredible Youths of the Year. You just think, wow. And they've been given the opportunity and the hope to go on. The last one I met is on her way to, I think it's Harvard University, I'm not sure, going to do a law degree. I said, well, we don't need any more lawyers, and I hope there aren't too many lawyers in this room. But anyway, I wished her luck. Very charming young lady. And before the Youth of the Year, we sponsored Smart Girls Program. And the Smart Girls Program was to really recognize that it was boys and girls. And that was very important turn-in event in the Boys and Girls Club. And, you know, we sponsored some major programs. In 3 years, we made the program visible and desirable with Dove as a new national sponsor as well. So we got Dove to sponsor that Smart Girls Program. So that's a big step forward. And then, see if I've got this right. Yes, Rick and Susan Goins. You know, I've known Rick for over 30 years. He's a friend and a boss. Sometimes we have our. He's quite liberal in his comments sometimes, but he's very passionate about the Boys and Girls Club. And we have a manufacturing plant in Hemingway, which is in South Carolina. And there are relatively few opportunities for young people in that part of the world. If ever you've been to Hemingway, South Carolina, which I don't imagine that a lot of people haven't been there. I've been there a few times. It's a difficult place to get to, by the way. But we have our own club there. Rick and Susan donate roughly $50,000 a year to that club. And it really does make a difference. Actually, one of our biggest problems, by the way, is raising funds because we're in competition with the churches. And I hope there's not too many church people here, but so it's amazing who you compete against to raise funds. And so actually, one of the things we did not so long ago was we did a 5K race. We got a lot of people in, and we do little activities like this, and that's a great fun way to raise money. And we do this also here in Florida. We also have a Tupperware Brands club in Osceola County. We gifted $1 million for that over 10 years. I go there often, and I can see that it makes a real difference. It's quite interesting what the Boys and Girls Clubs do. One part of their curriculum is to have English classes for the Hispanic population, and it's very, very well attended. And it's a fun place to go to, and the people that support that and work there, they're really wonderful people, and they're very passionate about what they do. I mean, they don't do it for an income. This is something that they feel really strongly about, and that's why it's so wonderful that all of the members that work on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club across America, they share this value in common. They're very passionate about what they're doing. They're not doing this for financial gain. They're doing this because they want to make a difference, and I really applaud them, and I continue to applaud them. We contribute about $25,000 annually to celebrate children fundraising events. We do contributions, $150,000 in additional cash over the years, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to get our own Tupperware associates to go and support the club. It was very interesting. The other day, there's Evaristo, who's a Mexican national, and we brought him to Florida to help us with our global marketing. And his wife Irma and his daughter, I think her name's Carolina, are now very actively involved in the Boys and Girls Club, in the local Boys and Girls Club, and that really makes me feel very proud about our associates. And they're just so amazed about having this opportunity, and they're making a difference, and it makes a difference to their lives. Let's make sure I've got the right slide now. Actually, I'm going to go back. This is me. This is how it can be fun. We use a little bit of fun here. Each year is my birthday, which is March the 8th, and I was 66 this year. And what we do is we have a 10K relay race around our campus. The campus is big enough to do this. And we bring in the Florida Hospital group. We run against them, and we're going to broaden it to other companies. But they have to sign up for a donation to the Boys and Girls Club in order to participate. And we're going to make this we've done it 3 times. Actually, we've won the race 3 times in a row. So we're going to broaden the net. By the way, I wasn't running in the race. I get on my eco bike and cycle around to cheer them on. But I can run, but not that fast. There's a limitation to how much I can do. But it really is a fun event. So, we can make the Boys and Girls Club also fun. And we get them to join in. They come down and watch the race as well. And maybe they're going to put a team together, and they'll probably beat us because they're much younger. But so these are the kind of things that we do. And this is something that I'm not going to bore you too much longer, that I'm also very proud about. We've exported the Boys and Girls Club to Mexico. And we funded the first club there. And, if we've got challenges, the youths of Mexico have got just as many challenges. And so this is about taking a great concept and exporting it to other parts of the world. And so we've done this, and we now have, I'm not going to read all the clubs. We started it, we have 2 operating companies in Mexico, very successful companies. Both managing directors and their wives sit on the board of the Boys and Girls Club of Mexico. And we've now got enough support from prominent business people in Mexico so that we're now expanding this. I think we're now up to 9 clubs, and they're making a difference, and it really does make a difference. And so, we're very, very proud about that. And that initiative really started from our involvement in the Boys and Girls Club here in America, and because we have this footprint around the world, we were able to export the model and get it going. And not only that, we've done the same thing in South Africa as well. And so we've got Boys and Girls Club also up and running in South Africa, and we staff it. We get the seed money going, and then we get local business people, community leaders to get involved, and they are getting involved. And again, it's it's as important there as it is here. And so making a difference in different parts of the world. But first and foremost, our main interest is to continue to support the Boys and Girls Club here in the United States because it's important. It's important to our value system. It's important to the future of the United States of America. The youths and how we develop them makes the difference. It really is important, and we believe in it. And so I'm going to conclude my remarks there because I know you want to eat your breakfasts. And I want to thank you for, I hope I didn't bore you. By the way, I'm not used to standing behind or on a lectern. I normally like to come out front. That's what we do at Tupperware Jubilees, as we call them. And, we have, often when we do Jubilees, we have 3,000-4,000 people in the audience. It's really amazing. And then you see people from all walks of life, because we're very inclusive. We're a very inclusive business. And, we like people. That's who we are. We enjoy people. We're very sociable. We're more than just a P&L and a balance sheet or a share price. Yes, we have to be interested in that, but what really drives us is what we're passionate about, and that's changing people's lives, giving people opportunities. And, I preach that wherever I go. It doesn't matter which country we're in. But also here in the United States, it's amazing the number of people that need help. I also we support United Way. And United Way is also another great institution. And, and I also know, having worked with the United Way, what a difference they make to individuals' lives. So you being here is important to me. It's important to the Boys and Girls Club of America and of the county. I come from Orange County, right? And is it called Manatee? Did I get that right? Yes, Manatee County. And I'm learning about the counties, actually. And it seems like a gorgeous place to live, actually, by the way. You're very blessed. I live in Central Florida in a place called Windermere, which I thought was very nice, but we don't have the ocean like you do. So you're blessed. And I would like to thank you for your just spending a few moments to listen to me. Thank you so much. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon, for joining us. Isn't it amazing the impact one business can have in influencing the future for youth in our community? My name is Barb Lewis, and I'm the Chief Development Officer for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Manatee County. Our next speaker needs no introduction, Sheriff Brad Stubbe. However, what you may not realize is that long before Sheriff Stubbe began his impressive career in law enforcement, he was a club kid, and a special one at that, as you'll see by the following headline. Do we have that headline, Drew? There we go. Boy of the Year. Please welcome our very own Manatee County Sheriff and former Boy of the Year, Brad Stubbe.
Good morning. Oh, that was the day, huh? Skinny with a lot of hair. Well, they asked me to tell my story, and I have to go back. My parents moved to Bradenton, Florida in 1962, and I was 7 years old, and my dad immediately took me to the boys club over on 9th Street, where he enrolled me in baseball. And we walked into a room. They told us what team I was going to be on, and as a child, the room looked this big, and I'm sure it was only maybe the size of a walk-in closet at your house. But that room had uniforms of all different sizes, shapes, and colors. They were all laying on the floor, and the guy said, just go over there, and you're on that orange team. Pick up something that fits. So I'm there trying on pants and orange shirts, and I'm going to look good. I can't play ball, but I'm going to look good. I was so excited. After we were here, about a year and a half, my parents then moved to Bayshore Gardens. And there was a boys club, believe it or not, in the Bayshore Gardens Shopping Center. And I lived on Dartmouth Drive. And if you walk through the woods, the back door of the boys club was right there at Bayshore Shopping Center. So needless to say, my parents gave me things that I had to do each and every day during the summer. But the rule was, when you're finished with them, you can go to the boys club. Well, the boys club opened at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was at the back door at 12:45 waiting for the door to open. And I just cannot tell you how many hours I spent there at the boys club. There are some staff members over the years, and I just wanted to mention a few names, and some of you guys that I saw stand up as former boys club members: Pogie Johnson, Rhett Hensley. These were some guys that ran these clubs, and they were just amazing people. And I also want to mention a few other employees and coaches. Richard Buckle, he's an attorney here in town. When I was actually at the Bradenton Club, he was an employee of that club, and he was going to law school at the time, and he was home for the summer. And he was the umpire on the baseball field, and when we got done with the game, he took us to the canteen, that's what it was called, to get us our drinks. And I remember him after all of these years. I also want to mention my dad, who coached. I want to mention Mr. Ed Dick. I was hoping he'd be here today, but he coached as well. And Mr. Don Bauer. Don had 3 sons, Dan, Doug, and Dave. And we all grew up at the boys club. These were, and Simon, you mentioned mentors. These were mentors to me as I grew up. And as you saw the photograph, I was Boy of the Year in 1967. And in that year, you know, I said that I was at the club when it opened every day. Well, the staff must have said to themselves, this kid's here every day, we need to get him involved in doing something. And that they did. They gave me a t-shirt that identified me as a staff, student staff. And I was given responsibilities with that t-shirt. I had to fill the drink machines, fill the snack machines, sweep the floors, clean up the garbage, and take it out. Man, I was in hog heaven. I was at a place where I could be all day long. I knew what time dinner was. I walked out the back door through the woods to my house. I had dinner and turned around and left the house and went back to the boys club because it didn't close till 9 o'clock. And that's where I was at all the time. And then the Bayshore Club closed. But before it did, they built a brand new club, the DeSoto Club at 34th Street and 53rd Avenue West. And I have to tell you, it was like going from a hole in the wall to something just brand new that I cannot describe for you as a child. And the hole in the wall was the Bayshore Club. It was pinched between the Crest store and the cinema, and it ran from the back to the front. And it was just a long hallway with a few offices up front and a concrete floor for a basketball court and a basketball rim out behind the building and an asphalt parking lot. That's what the club was. And then we opened this new DeSoto Boys Club. Oh my gosh. It was 2 stories. It had a real floor on the basketball court, a real wooden floor. It had brand new pool tables and ping pong tables upstairs. It was amazing. And I was a part of that opening. And I can just tell you that The lessons I learned at home were reinforced at the club. I learned responsibility. I learned fairness, sportsmanship, humility. There was a deaf child that was my age that was at the club. Pretty tough to play basketball with a deaf child, but we as a group of kids from Bayshore Gardens embraced him, and we showed him how to play basketball. We showed him, and then he showed us things. He showed us that you didn't really need to hear to know how to play basketball. And I have to tell a story about Ed Dick. Mr. Dick was at the new club at DeSoto Branch. He challenged me to a ping pong duel one afternoon, and he beat me the first game. And I kept looking at him saying, how can you do this? I play ping pong all the time. How can you be this good? Then he let me win the second game. Then he beat me the third game. And it was not until last year when Ed Dick was honored here in the community, and I don't remember where it was, Ed Dick talked about having a ping pong table at his house for all those kids that he had, that he adopted. And that's where he learned to play ping pong. He was really good. But I learned about sportsmanship because he beat me. And he said, it's not about winning or losing, because you're not going to win all the time. You are going to lose. And you need to be grateful about the opportunity that you had just to play that game, whatever it was. That went with me through junior high school and high school. Even when we lost, I would go to the opposing team and shake hands because it was a part of me, instilled in me. So as my two boys grew up, they played baseball at the DeSoto Branch, and I coached. And then I talked to someone, I don't know, about 2 years ago. And the person said to me, well, the club today is just someplace you can take your kids to babysit. And I looked at them and I said, you know what? There are computer labs in the clubs today. After school, these kids are being mentored and given instruction about their homework. And if you believe that babysitting is all it is, then I'll take that every day of the week. And I'll send my kids and my grandkids there. I'll tell you that I am the person today that I am because of the things that went on at the Boys Club, the lessons that I learned, and the life lessons that were taught to me by the staff and the employees and the volunteers. You cannot go wrong. Hear me. You cannot go wrong investing in our children. And investing in the Boys and the Girls Club of today is where you need to put your money. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning. I'm Catrice Estes, and I'm the Director of Program Services. Youth of the Year is the Boys and Girls Clubs of America premier recognition program that celebrates the extraordinary accomplishments of club teens. Throughout the year, clubs across the country select a Youth of the Year, first a Youth of the Month, and then it goes on as a Youth of the Year. The Youth of the Year embodies the spirit of leadership, service, academic success, and healthy lifestyles. This year's Youth of the Year for Boys and Girls Club of Manatee is Giovanni Supple. Giovanni just returned from the statewide competition and represented Manatee County very well. Three of Giovanni's classmates and clubmates from Southeast High School produced this video to introduce you to him.
The Boys and Girls Club is an organization dedicated to providing a safe place for students to learn and grow under the supervision of caring professionals. Their services have reached approximately 4 million youths, and they are constantly working on expanding their realm of support. A member of the Manatee County Boys and Girls Club, Giovanni Supple, otherwise known as Gio, is a junior at Southeast High School and has been involved with this organization for 11 years. Since second grade, he has been actively acquiring a variety of leadership and interpersonal skills from the guidance of his Boys and Girls Club advisors. These skills, in addition to the discipline and determination learned as a leading officer in his JROTC squadron, have shaped Gio into the mature, confident young man he is today. He was nominated for the prestigious Youth of the Year award based on his strong leadership attributes, optimistic attitude, and incredible perseverance. As captain, he works hard to motivate the Raiders and advises them on how to be successful in their drills and in daily life. Gio is dedicated to his training and his teammates and hopes to help them discover a similar love for the organization that has helped him become the leader he is today.
You know, he's the complete package. He's great academically. He's not only a big part of our program here at JROTC, he's also part of the track team. He's in other clubs here on campus. You know, and he also does a lot of community service stuff.
It also makes me want to help with other kids that don't have an opportunity like many other kids have, like for instance growing up without a father or growing up without a mother. I want to be that person that the kid will feel comfortable talking with, because I feel like that's the best medication, is just talking to someone that really cares about him.
In the classroom, Gio is praised for his determination and positive influence over his peers. He is a humble leader since he does not seek recognition for his actions, but rather assists others out of genuine kindness. He strives to set a good example by helping his peers develop a strong work ethic.
I think it's his optimism, you know, that he is very optimistic. This is something, we talk about willpower and won't power, we talked about it today. He has willpower. There is no won't in Gio's vocabulary, and I really respect that.
As a veteran member of the Boys and Girls Club, he has been able to take advantage of many opportunities presented to him. He is grateful for the lasting friendships he has made as part of the club, and especially the career preparation he has received, such as job interview training and resume building skills. He credits the Boys and Girls Club for helping him find multiple jobs so that he can develop work experience. Now he gives back to the organization that has given him so much. He volunteers at the various Boys and Girls Club locations by teaching classes and helping other members with whatever they might need.
He is a leader, and just working with the little kids so they can look up to someone. It's not always your pro athletes and your actresses and actors that you always have to look up to. You can have other people in the community that you can say, you know what, I want to be like Gio. So he has those attributes to where one kid can say, you know what, I want to be a youth of the year.
After over a decade of involvement with the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County, Giovanni Supplé is recognized as one of the most accomplished youths in the program. Thanks to Boys and Girls Club, Giovanni has become a leader to his peers and a role model to his community.
I think he's a deserving recipient because he's motivated, he's a hard worker, he shows determination, and like I said earlier, he also has the leadership skills to lead other people.
He has outstanding character and passion for everything he does, and as a role model for younger members, he truly deserves the title of Youth of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That was amazing. I don't think they're here, but I want to say thank you for the people that made that video. Thank you for the Boys and Girls Club that's been giving me the opportunity to serve you as your 2015 Youth of the Year. I just got back from the state competition in Miami yesterday, and it was just a wonderful experience going against 25 other youths that have the same ambition as me, that want to do the same as me, which is being successful. The video you just saw portrays me as a perfect high school student. Well, I'm not. Growing up with my mother, she was always going to school, and I was living with my grandparents who spoke only Spanish. I only spoke a little Spanish, so we would barely communicate. that was really frustrating. Um, when I would see my mom, it would only be late night because she'll always come home from school late. So we would rarely talk about our days, and that's when I started feeling empty inside because we were so close before she went to school. Went to the movies every Friday, went golfing, everything. I became angry with everyone and everybody around me. I wouldn't talk to anyone at school or at home or at the Boys and Girls Club. I was just always by myself. I just felt like no one can help me. I just felt hopeless. Sorry. I just became angry with everyone and myself. I was just a fat kid with curly hair playing video games in my room all day. I spent way too much time worrying about what's gonna happen next and what's next for me and what's gonna happen with my parents and my grandparents. I had no idea what was gonna happen. In middle school, I was always angry with myself. I had no respect for teachers. I was failing the 7th grade, and I also got suspended for fighting. Referrals every day, just for talking back to teachers. Teachers would look me straight in the eye and say, "You're not gonna make it." They'll say that to me. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt. It's hurting saying it now, but look where I'm standing now. Growing up, I didn't have a father in my life, even though he lives 10 minutes away from me, But I'm not going to be a victim of that because victims they won't be standing here right now and they won't be talking to these wonderful people. So I never used that as an excuse. I always blame myself for why he wasn't in my life, and I never had anyone to talk to like sports, like I wanted. There wasn't someone on the other side of the field when sorry. There wasn't someone on the other side of the field when I was throwing the ball, kicking the ball around, just talking to myself. To this day, I don't even know how to put bait on a fishing hook. Yeah. So those were the hobbies that I wanted to do with my father. Yeah, I could have done it with my mom, but it's not the same because we're doing everything together. And it was just those times where I wanted to be with my father, and he wasn't there. So in my first 2 years of high school, I didn't care about school at all. I was still angry. Oh, sorry. I was getting in trouble and barely passing my classes again. I was skipping class just because I didn't like the teachers, and they probably didn't like me, but now they love me because the principal of Southeast High School had a big meeting with them and just talked about me for a whole 30 minutes. And those were the teachers, and some of those teachers looked me in the eye and said the same thing: "You're not going to be anything until you grow up." And now they're probably going to watch this in their rooms with all the students. I would just stay home because I didn't enjoy waking up early in the morning. I used to always wanted to sleep in and not do anything. I was always hiding my report card from my mom just so she wouldn't be upset. I was bringing home C's and D's and one time an F, and once she found out, there are a lot of bad decisions that I made in my young life. But the Boys and Girls Club was my paradise. And no, it wasn't a paradise where I can put my feet in the sand and feel the wind blowing through my hair. I've seen it as a gateway. The paradise I was seeing was being calm. It was my paradise to look forward to after school. It was my paradise to be a better child. I didn't have to be home alone every day because my parents wouldn't get home till 6. I just wanted to go to the club where I can talk to my friends or play on the computer and find relief for stress, of my stress. There's much more at the club. I remember when we did this Real Talk program with my mentors, we learned that you have to set goals for yourself and take steps to achieve that goal. I was taught that nothing comes easy, that everything you have to do 112%. Because if you do 110%, that extra 2% can be to be the difference between you becoming successful or not. Just that extra 2%, you always want to go hard on everything that you do. A lot of close friends of mine went through the wrong path. Right now I have a friend living with me. He was homeless, and he's a really good friend of mine. He was always the smartest one in the group that I hung out with. 3 of us were in reading classes, and he was the one in the honors class, always dropping knowledge and wonderful vocabulary on us. We used to hate it, to be honest with you. It's crazy how quick someone can fall when I look at him now. He started skipping school, and I wanted to be that person that be like, hey, come live with me and get back on your feet. And now he's graduating soon, and I'm glad that I'm the reason behind all of that. I want to be successful in everything I do, and the most important thing that I want to do is make my mother proud, because growing up, she was always crying, she wasn't crying tears of, she was crying tears of sadness, but now she has the opportunity to cry tears of joy. And that's what I'm really thankful for. I've been able to keep my grades up now. This whole year I've been able to keep it up over 3.2 GPA, and that is because of the Boys and Girls Club. I couldn't go in unless I did my homework with everyone. That's essays and different work packets and all that. Mr. Window opened my eyes to different opportunities. The first thing in my mind wasn't college. It was just, maybe I'll find a job after high school, or maybe I'll just work every day. But no, I don't want to do that. I looked into different colleges that I want to attend, and I want to major in astronomy and entrepreneurship. I want to be a successor in everything I do. All those negative comments that my teachers looked me in the eye and said to me, I didn't play victim. I turned all of that into motivation. I motivated myself to push 112% in everything that I do. There's something about threes that the human being enjoys. In books we read, and even in Shakespeare's work. Let me reread that. I'm sorry. There's something about threes that the human being enjoys seeing. In speech we use threes. In books we use threes, and even in Shakespeare's work. Those were 3 examples. I want to challenge the kids in the club and in the room to write down 3 goals that you want to accomplish. I want you to think about those goals, and I want you to think how you're going to set yourself to achieve those goals. No matter what anyone says to you, or if something's going to knock you down, you turn all of that into motivation. Everything you need to do you need to think positive in everything you do, and that's for everyone. If your car breaks down, think about it. If you have AAA, that's 3 gallons of free gas. That's the positive thing you think about. Positive, all right? You have to prove those people wrong that say you're not going to be anything in life, because that's what I was feeling. I felt like I wasn't going to be anything, and now I'm proving them wrong. Thanks for being here today. I hope all you guys feel the same energy for helping the kids of the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County. I have 1 more year before I want to attend FIU or University of Tampa or FAU to study business and astronomy. And there are a lot of kids There are a lot of kids to follow who will accomplish great things. We appreciate the club for being there for all of us. Thank you.
Giovanni, whew, thank you for your courage. You faced challenges and you've overcome obstacles, and you're helping other people do the same, especially the kids in the club and at your school and in your family. So we have something special for you as you pursue your education and leadership and adventures. This is from Tony Ferdinand of Total Document Management, who couldn't be with us today, but he was one of our sponsors this morning. And this is a MacBook Air.
Funny story about this. I told my mom, hey mom, for Christmas, I want a new computer, or I need a new computer, and she's like, yeah, we'll think about it. Got to put some money to the side, and now that she has another big stress relief off her, yeah. So, thank you everyone, appreciate it.
Thank you. What a morning. Wow, hard to follow such an excellent speaker and young leader. My name is Marty King. I have the privilege of serving as the leader of the board of the Boys and Girls Club currently. It is an exciting challenge to work with our board and to support our staff in the great work of the mission of the Boys and Girls Club. The best part, though, of being involved in the clubs is that it's so much fun to be at the club with our kids. I hope that you've enjoyed the young kids that are at each table today. Thank you guys so much for coming. Could you guys stand up? Big smiles. Did you all know, the kids, that all these people in the room, they care about you, and they're the ones who make the club possible. They make it cool, they make it fun, they make it strong. So kids, stand up one more time. We're going to turn this around, and we're going to tell them thank you for supporting the club. I'll help you. Kids, tell them thank you. Right on. Good job, you guys. I would like to thank our speakers this morning so much. Dawn, our president, thank you for your leadership. Mr. Hemus, thank you so much for the capacity of partnership and how much you help us accomplish for the kids in the clubs. Sheriff Stubbe, thank you so much for sharing your story. Part of your foundation is the club, and now you are such an influence in impacting the well-being of our community, and we thank you. Gio, again, thank you for your courage and your leadership and your example. And kids, club kids, friends, thank you for telling the guests at your tables some of the things that you love about the club. We're going to do great things together, these kids as they grow up in the clubs and our community as they support us. These kids are so proud of their club, and it is very, very important in their lives. And they are the reason that I am passionate about leading and investing and supporting our staff and teaching in the club every week. I truly believe in the impact of this great mission to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. That is a mission I can pour my heart into. But now I will ask you to take on that responsibility with me in supporting the club in the way that you can. You all are the leaders, investors, and caring citizens of our community. At the club, productive, caring, responsible citizenship starts with sharing a pool stick. You've heard it today. Taking turns, cleaning up messes, getting your work done. Those are the things that our young kids learn in their foundation to become friends, students, workers. But as they enjoy the club with professional, caring adults in a safe environment, they learn to face challenges and overcome obstacles too. They have learning and leadership and service opportunities, life experiences, and career exploration at the club. So they can reach their full potential to become workers, spouses, parents, teachers, owners, investors, leaders, citizens. These kids are Manatee County citizens now and in the future. My friend Horace over there, Horace way in the back, he told me today he would really like to be a policeman. So Sheriff Stubbe, future staff, possibly, watch out, he might take your seat. That's what you're talking about, I know. Carmen, where's my friend Carmen? Hey, Carmen. Carmen, wave your hand so everybody, there she is. Hey, someday, maybe 20 years, will you take over the Good Eats class? She's been in my class before. Yes? Okay, how about this? How about if you can just go on ahead and be the president of the organization? Okay. Maybe you could take my place as chairman of the board. Give me a high five. Right on. Okay. And Gio, I hope you'll keep coming to these breakfasts when you're a businessman and astronomer, a scientist, whatever it is, maybe a city councilman. Come back to this room and keep inspiring these folks to invest in the club. I think you will. Friends, investors, citizens, someone poured life and love into you so that you could become who you are. Now together, we must open the door for these kids and thousands of others like them to the great futures that start here. When caring citizens invest in the club that impacts lives, these kids become healthy citizens and strengthen the community that we all live in and love. Table hosts, now's your time. There are envelopes in the big envelope that describe the many investment opportunities that you have. Your commitment will be confidential, so please take some time to look through those. You'll see on the card that your investment could affect membership, it could send kids on field trips, it could buy equipment or fund programs, you could help us with transportation, or someday you could help us build a new club. There are many opportunities. Please give today and give annually. When we strengthen the support throughout our community, that helps us accomplish our mission today and in the future. Make a note on that card if you're interested in helping us create a beneficial partnership. Help us make connections in the community. That's why you're here. We know that you're connected to other folks in the community that could be friends of the club. Please consider leadership. Both of our strong boards need new leaders every year, the corporate board and the foundation board. And some of you all in here, I hope, will be future leaders. Make a note on your card if that is part of your commitment. Volunteer in the club, enjoy the kids, connect us to people who can teach and tutor and coach. Together, our dedicated staff, energized boards, creative partners, generous donors, and faithful friends will strengthen the impact of the club in young lives and expand our presence in the community and extend hope's reach. Thank you.
I can just get your attention one more moment. As we mentioned, we love to have fun at the club, so we have a little extra special surprise for you all. If you look underneath your chair, there's a person at each table who will have a special ticket, and you will be a winner of a set of colorful Tupperware tumblers, which you can grab on your way out thanks to our folks at Tupperware. We also would like our table hosts to enjoy the baskets in the middle of the room. As you can see on there, those are actually Tupperware bowls, chips and dip bowls for our table hosts. And a final thank you also to Charles Clapsaddle from METV and his group for helping us out today, as well as our amazing staff and Studio Q who designed the baskets in the middle. Thank you all.